Dear readers of the European Sting, there's one thing that drew my attention last week. The release of an awful directive by the European Commission that imposes less controls and higher fines in the agri-food chain of Europe. That's it, ladies and gentlemen. There has been a huge breach in the European zoo. The streets of Brussels are now flooded with mad cows. Contaminated horses are chasing the female crazy cows because they themselves think that they look like beef. Belgian chickens are heading towards the sewage in search of food, and someone just had a salad with E. coli cucumber. Oh, my God. The last thing we needed now was a clumsy directive that would make worse the already dreadful situation in the European food chain. What is Tonio, the Maltese chef, cooking for us this time? Certainly it is not gourmet. Mysteriously enough, it seems that the Commissioner's ultimate goal is to connect again Europeans with religion. Every European today needs to say her prayers twice before she goes to the supermarket. It is evident that we will all eat many sick horses baptized as beef after last week's directive, where controls will only be performed with sampling techniques. Moreover, the Commission is increasing the fines for non-compliance to the norms. Apparently, the Commission needs to raise funds in times of crisis. But apart from fundraising, is this the right approach to secure the food chain in Europe? What is more, it seems that the Maltese master chef has decided to raise the prices of the menu for the European consumer. It is expected by any person who thinks that it is us who will have to pay for these new fines or fees when we buy our food through immediate taxation like VAT. My lord. Would you pay dearly at a restaurant for a chicken tandoori that has been fed with stool so that the Commission does not invest from its own budget on food safety? Hell no, and while I was thinking about growing my own cattle farm to get away from all this crap, I thought that things can always get worse. Is there something worse than eating cucumbers with E. coli and paying dearly for them? Sure there is. You can always eat a cucumber that has been promised to you as organic, and thus you had to pay for it at the price of a steak, but in the end of the day the cucumber is not organic but GMO. This would be a true food Armageddon. The fact that officially we do not have GMOs in Europe made me feel much better. Are we in Europe that's safe from GMOs though? Let me remind you about the long-awaited free trade agreement of the EU with the USA that is closer now than ever before. You know what this means? This means that in the circus of mad cows, horse beefs, stool chickens and sick cucumbers there will be added also genetically modified food, imported directly by the birthplace of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the USA. This is truly a nightmare. I will surely put all my life savings on that farm project of mine after all, since one of the hottest issues that stopped the free trade agreement with the USA are the GMOs that the Americans apparently love to put on their dish, or at least they don't mind. Is it too far-fetched to think that the Maltese commissioner chef is preparing the grounds for GMOs in Europe? I mean, isn't it so that a directive that undermines further food controls in Europe is the right setting for an EU-US free trade agreement that will rein GMOs? My goodness. Has the European Parliament watched the trailer of the horror movie, The Revenge of the Maltese GM Soybean? If yes, we are all waiting for their critics. If we are what we eat, then indeed we are not good. Especially some people in Vermont that seem to have eaten more horse meatballs than they should have. But bearing the scandal of horse beef and dismantling the European food control system to make a free trade agreement work out are two different things. And the latter is not a scandal, but rather a crime. Until next week, join the hive.